So in solutions and colligative properties, so write down already solution stuff, all the Raoult's law, all the stuff completed. Now today we will start with the discussions of colligative properties. Now what are colligative properties? Colligative properties. Now colligative properties basically the property of solution which depends only upon number of solute particle present in the solution. Okay, which depends only upon number of solute particles present in a solution. So just write down what is colligative property. Properties of the solution which depends upon which depends only upon number of solute particles present in the solution and are independent from the nature of solute particles. From the nature of solute particles. That means whatever nature, this is a polar nature, non-polar nature, like this part, this, what is the nature of solute particle? The colligative property does not depend on the nature of solute particles, only depends how many number of solute particles present in a solution. Only depends how many number of solute particles present in a solution. Okay, nature of solute particles are known as colligative property. CP. In short, colligative property, we can write CP. Okay. Now, what are the types of colligative property? If you go through the types of colligative property, okay. First is relative lowering of vapor pressure, RLVP, and that stuff already completed. Raoult's law case 1. If you go through the Raoult's law case 1, that stuff already done. Okay. Relative lowering of vapor pressure. Okay. Second one, elevation of boiling point. Elevation of boiling point. Third one, depression of freezing point. Fourth one, osmotic pressure. Okay. Is it clear? Okay. So remember one thing, this all the colligative properties are interrelated with each other. Okay. Are interrelated with each other. All the colligative properties, all the CP are interrelated with each other. That is by the known value of anyone. That is by the known value of anyone. That means if you know one of the value, suppose relative lowering of vapor pressure, all the stuff you can know, then you can find all other stuff. Okay, known the value of anyone, then other can be easily determined. Calculated. Next one, all the CP, that means this CP, all CP depends upon molality of solution. Depends upon molality of solution. Now, what is molality? Molality is small m, which is equals to number of moles of solute. Moles of solute present in 1 kg of solvent. That is about molality. Okay. Any doubt regarding this part? Tell me. Do you have any doubt? Okay. Now, what are the condition of colligative property? First of all, solute should be non-volatile, and second is, remember, solution should be dilute. For dilute condition, you can find out the colligative property stuff, and all are non-volatile. The solute which are dissolved in solvent, that should be the non-volatile. Is it clear? So just write down the condition of CP. Next is the conditions of CP. First is solution should be dilute. And second is solute should be non-volatile. Any doubt till now? Do you have any doubt? Please tell me. Okay. Do you have any doubt? Okay. Now tell me in which case colligative property will be high. Suppose I am giving you two example like K4 efficiency. What is the name of this compound? Potassium ferrocyanide, FeCN6 and MgCl2. Now after dissociation, it gives Mg2 plus 2Cl minus. So total number of ions. How many number of ions are present? 1 magnesium, 1 Mg2 plus cation and 2 Cl minus ion. So total number of ions present in a solution, which is 3. Now after dissociation, in this case, we can write 4K plus FeCN6 4 minus. Now in this case, how many number of ions are present? 5. So if the number of ions increases, that means particles number increases. So we can say CP value is higher. More CP, in this case less CP. If the number of ions increases, that means particle number increases. That's why colligative property increases. Is it clear? Write down this one. Then we will go for the Van 't Hoff factor, which is denoted as a I. Write it down.
From top, sir. From top, sir.
Okay. From top. And colligative property is also important stuff. Okay. Basically, the question can comes like two parts. One is solution, the Raoult's law, all the things, and another is from colligative property. And colligative property is very, very easy. In this case, only I and molality. These two terms is very, very important. Molality, not molarity. Write it down quickly. Completed?
Sir, no, sir.
Okay, then we are moving to the next part. Okay, you will find the note. Don't worry, I'll share this one. Okay. Now vent of factor. Because I have to complete lot of things. First try to understand. I'll share all the notes. Okay. Now vent of factor case. What is vent of factor? It can denote as a I. I is basically number of particles after association or dissociation divided by number of particles before association or dissociation. That means when you take in just normal compound after in a solution, it can be associated, it can be dissociated. Now after dissociation, how many number of ions, that is in upper stuff, and lower stuff is before dissociation. Okay, so just write down number of particles present, particles after association or dissociation, and this one is number of particles before dissociation. Okay, that is about I or Van der Waals. Write it down quickly. This stuff, I stuff is important. Okay, so basically this is the factor which takes into account number of particles after association or dissociation. Okay, now in this case, first case is case 1, where the dissociation takes place. Now look, in this case you can write, suppose NaCl, we are taking NaCl. After dissociation, it gives Na plus Cl minus. We all know that. Now, before dissociation means before stuff. That means when T value equals to 0. T equals to 0 means no reaction. That means no dissociation, no association takes place. We can write this one is a, this one is 0, this one is 0. Because no dissociation takes place, that means no ions are present. That's why this becomes 0 and 0. Na plus and Cl minus always considered as 0. And A is basically initial moles. Now, what is the NT value? NT means total moles before dissociation. NT, total moles, be present before dissociation. Okay. Which is equals to A plus 0 plus 0. That means A. Now, at T equals to T, that means when dissociation takes place, T represents when already dissociation takes place. We are writing A into A minus alpha. This one is a alpha, this one is a alpha. Now, how can you write down this one? The stoichiometry present here, you have to multiply it, and the stoichiometry present here, you have to divide it. So 1 divided by 1 means this one is 1. Again, in this case, whatever stoichiometry present here, you have to multiply it, and this stuff you have to divide it, the box stuff. And the left hand side always remember A minus A alpha. The left hand side always taken as A minus A alpha. Now, what is A minus A alpha? A minus A alpha is after dissociation, how many moles left? How many moles of reactant left after dissociation? Number of moles of reactant left. Okay. Now in this case, please find out. So NTA, which is total moles after dissociation, we can write A minus A alpha, that is the reactant site. A alpha. What you get? You get A plus A alpha. Okay. Now what is alpha? I am explaining. This is total moles after dissociation. Now alpha is taken as a degree of dissociation. Alpha, what is alpha? Alpha is known as degree of dissociation. Degree of dissociation, which is fraction of 1 mole dissociated. Fraction of 1 mole dissociated. Now, what will be the minimum value of alpha? 0. What will be the maximum value of alpha? 1. Alpha value 1, which represent 100% dissociation takes place. And alpha value 0, which represent no dissociation. Okay. Now, how can you find the I value? What is the Van 't Hoff factor? Van 't Hoff factor is total moles present after dissociation. That is A. I will take common. If you take common this one, it becomes A plus 1 plus alpha. A into 1 plus alpha. And total moles before dissociation, which is A. Now, if you cut down this one, you get I value is 1 plus alpha. Now, alpha value definitely lies between, you all know that 0 to 1, that you know that. So we can say I value here always greater than 1. I value always greater than 1. I alpha value, it can be 0.1, 0.2, 1, 0.3, 0.4, anything. I value always, if you go through this one, I value always 1. Is it clear? Any doubt regarding this part? Okay. So for association, always remember for dissociation case, for dissociation, Van 't Hoff factor value always greater than this. Is it clear? Is it clear? Any doubt? Okay, this stuff is clear. Do you have any doubt regarding this part? Please tell me. Avinav, any doubt? Manish, Raghav, Shruti, any doubt regarding this part? Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, completed. Okay, always remember for ionic compound. For ionic compound, in most cases, alpha value always taken as the 1. That means 100% dissociation takes place. Okay. Now, what will be the I important formula? That value is 1 plus n minus 1 into alpha. And this formula is only valid for dissociation. Okay. Now, what is n? N is basically number of particles. How many number of particles we get? Particles we get. Okay. Now, suppose if you go through the NaCl, or if you take example of MgCl2, example. MgCl2. After dissociation, it becomes Mg2 plus 2Cl minus. So what will be the alpha value always taken as a 1, because this is the we are considering that this is a 100% dissociation takes place because this one is the ionic compound. Ionic compound in solution phase always 100% dissociation. Most of the cases 100% dissociation takes place. If nothing is given for ionic compound, always taken as the alpha value 1. Now in this case, what will be the n value? Find out the n value. You can easily find. Look how many number of moles dissociated here. Or you can write like this way at t equals to 0. This value is a 0 0. T equals to t. This value is a minus a alpha. This one is a alpha. This one is a alpha, and this stoichiometry always multiplied. That means 2 alpha. Now total moles, find out total moles. That means a minus a alpha plus a alpha plus 2a alpha. That means addition of all the stuff. What you get? You get a plus 2a alpha. Is it clear? Now alpha always taken as a 1. Find out the I value. I value you can write 1 minus 1 plus 2 into 1 divided by a. So this value becomes 3. Is it clear? Any doubt regarding this part? This stuff is clear. Now going for the next example. Next example is suppose very important. This one Al2SO4 whole 3. After dissociation, it gives Al3 plus 3SO4 2 minus. Now in this case, at t equals to 0, you can write this value is A00. Now t equals to t time, this value is always left hand side, always a into a minus alpha. First write down a into a alpha. Now this stoichiometry always multiplied. Here this stoichiometry always divided. That means 2 divided by 1, it becomes 2. Again this stoichiometry multiplied, this one divided. Now what will be the NT value before dissociation? That is a. What will be the NT value after dissociation? A minus a alpha plus 2a alpha plus 3a alpha. So this value is a plus 4a alpha, and alpha always taken as a 1. Now what will be the I value? I value you can write here 1 plus 4 alpha. A into 1 plus 4 alpha, that means moles after dissociation by before dissociation. Alpha value is 1. So what will be the I value? 1 plus 4 into 1, that is 5. Is it clear? Any doubt regarding this part? Okay, do you have any doubt? Okay. Any doubt? This stuff is clear. Now, how to apply this formula? What will be the formula? I into, the formula is I into 1 plus n minus 1 alpha. Now, without taking this one, because this will take huge time, because you have to write like this way. Now, look, after dissociation, how many total number of moles you get? 2 aluminum, 3 SO4 2 minus. So n value is 5. 2 plus 3 5. And alpha value nothing is given. So for ionic compound, alpha value always taken as 1. So just put the value. So 1 plus 4, that means 5. Look, this value and this value are same. Is it clear? Any doubt? Do you have any doubt regarding this part? Please tell me. This stuff is clear? Quickly answer me. Do you have any doubt how to find this one? Is it clear? After dissociation, please find out the number of ions. Number of ions, which is basically n, and alpha value. Nothing is given for ionic compound. Alpha value always taken as a 1. From here, you can find out the alpha, I value. Is it clear? And what is I? I is the band acid. Is it clear? Abhinav, Manish, any doubt? Raghav, Shruti?
Clear, sir.
Okay. So I am giving you 2 questions. You have to find the I value. Find out the I. Find out band of factor. Bands of factor. Quickly solve it. NaCl after dissociation, Na plus Cl minus, you all know that, and AlCl. Find out the I value quickly, giving you only 2 minute time. Completed. Look, in this case, what will be the n value? N value is 2. Nothing is given means alpha always taken as the 1. Just put the value. That means I equals to, we can write 1 plus 2 minus 1 into 1. That means 2. That's it. So always remember, from here we can say, if I equals to alpha equals to 1, I value which is equals to number of, which is equals to n, and n is number of moles or number of ions present. Okay. Second one, quickly solve it. Yes, correct. Very good. In this case, you can write Al3 plus 3Cl minus. Correct. Very nice. Correct, Manish. So how many ions are there? N equals to 4, and nothing is given. Alpha is always taken as a 1. Alpha when 1, in this case we can write I equals to n value, that means 4. That is the I value. So what will be the important formula for the association stuff? First important formula is this one. Second important formula is, from here you can find, 1 plus n minus 1 alpha. So from here you can find I minus 1, the alpha 1, n minus 1. That is for alpha. Alpha is degree of dissociation, and alpha when alpha equals to 1, where I equals to n. Okay, where alpha is degree of dissociation, n is number of moles. Just write down this one. Degree of dissociation, in short DOD. N equals to number of ions present. I is basically Van der factor. Okay. Is it clear? Okay. Going to the case 2. This is a case 1. Case 1 which is for dissociation. Now going for case 2 which is for association. Now for association take, basically association case, number of particle decreases. Number of particles decreases. Okay. So if the number of particles decreases, we can say in this case I value always less than 1. For association stuff, I value always less than 1. Suppose going through an example, first one is we are taking the dimerization reaction. Okay. Now dimerizations we can write like this way: 2A when converted to A2. Now before starting any reaction, when T value equals to 0, this one I am taking A, this one equals to 0. At T equals to T, I always told you the left hand side always this one, and right hand side A into A alpha. This stoichiometry, nothing is mentioned, means this one is 1 and this one divided. So basically this one converted to A alpha by 2. That means we can write A alpha by 2. Now find out the total moles NT before dissociation, that is A, NT after dissociation. That means A minus A alpha plus A alpha by 2. What you get? A plus A alpha by 2. From here you can take a common 1 plus alpha by 2. Okay, now just put the value. What will be the I? I is basically number of moles present after dissociation. There are number of moles present before dissociation. That means 1 plus alpha by 2. And we always know that alpha value always lies between 0 to 1. So this value can be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, anything. Oh, sorry, this one is minus. Just a minute. Okay, so when you put the alpha value, definitely this value, all over value should be less than 1. So that's why just remember, for association case, I value always greater than 1, but for dissociation case, and for association case, I value always less than 1. Okay, is it clear? Any doubt regarding this stuff? Do you have any doubt? Now this one is an example for dimerization. We are going to the trimerization. Now for trimerization means you can write 3 alpha. It forms a trimer A3. Okay. Now look. Again you can write at T equals to 0. This one is a A. This one is a 0. At T equals to T, this value becomes A minus A alpha. This one is a A alpha, but this value should be divided. So what will be the NT value before dissociation? That is A. What will be the NT value after dissociation? That means A minus A alpha plus A alpha by 3. It becomes A minus 2A alpha by 3. Now when you take a common, 1 minus 2 alpha by 3. Okay. Now what will be the I value? I value we can write. So after getting I value becomes 1 minus 2 alpha by 3. Okay. Now if alpha equals to 1, you can write I value is 1 by 3. Okay. So for association case, what will be the association? The equation becomes I equals to 1 plus 1 by n alpha. That is for association. From here you can find the alpha value, which is I minus 1. Just what will be the change? Instead of n, you can write 1 minus n, nothing else. If you go through this one, instead of n, we are using 1 minus n. Okay. All the stuff remains same. Now, if alpha equals to 1, I equals to, instead of n, we are using 1 minus n. Okay. This is for association. Any doubt regarding this part? This time. Do you have any doubt? Okay. Any doubt? Okay. Next, we are moving to the next part. Next part, which is if neither association nor dissociation takes place. Not dissociation takes place. In this case, this is a normal colligative property, normal CP, where I value equals to 1. Now, if association or dissociation takes place, in this case, I definitely not equals to 1. This is called abnormal colligative property. Now, another formula for I, which is abnormal colligative property, divided by normal CP. Okay, and colligative property, I already told you, molar mass inversely proportional to molar mass of solid. So another formula which becomes I equals to, because colligative property which is inversely proportional to molar mass of solid. So this stuff you can apply here. So another formula which arises, normal molar mass of solute divided by abnormal molar mass. Abnormal molar mass of solute. Okay, is it clear? Any doubt regarding this part, please tell me. Do you have any doubt? Any doubt regarding this part? This stuff is clear? All of you clear this one? Tell me. Do you have any doubt? Okay. Just write it down. Completed? Completed? Next. Now colligative property, first part, which is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative RLVP, which is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now for relative lowering of vapor pressure, if you go through an example, suppose you can write PA naught, you all know this one, Raoult's law case 1, PA naught, which is equals to XP, XP equals to number of moles of B, number of moles of A by B. Now what are the stuff that I am mentioning? Already all the stuff, this stuff already, whole thing is already discussed. Now what is PA naught? PA naught is vapor pressure of pure solvent. Where PA is vapor pressure of solution. And in this case, remember solute is non-volatile. Raoult law case 1. solute is non-volatile. What do you mean by volatile and non-volatile? Non-volatile means it can easily evaporate. That means vapor pressure is very high. XP is mole fraction. Solute. Okay. And NB is number of moles of P. That means number of moles of solute. Na is number of moles of solute. Moles of solute. This formula only changes to like this way. Pa naught instead of this one you can just write I, where I is colligative property, which is only applicable for solute substrate, not for solvent. Where I is colligative property. Okay, only this formula changes to like this way. Okay, I am giving you one question regarding this part. Already this stuff already discussed all this thing. I am just giving you one question, easy question. You have to solve this one. The question is 30 gram of a non-volatile solute is dissolved in 360 gram of water at 100 degrees centigrade. If vapor pressure of solution is 570 mm of H, then calculate molar mass of solute. Molar mass of solute. Okay, giving you 1 minute time to resolve it. Just 1 minute time to resolve. Look, how can you solve? You know the formula. The formula is Pa naught minus Pa naught, which is equals to XB. Instead of XB, you can write Na plus Na divided by Na plus Nb. That you can write. Now you just reversing all the stuff. So this one becomes Na plus Nb divided by N. Now subtracted by 1, what you get? that is Na plus Nb minus 1. When you get this one, what will be the formula? Pa naught minus of Pa naught plus Pa it becomes Na plus Nb. So from here you can write just reversing all the stuff. The lower one becomes upper and the upper one becomes lower. You get another formula. This is this one, which is equals to Nb by Na. Another formula, already the derivations completed in Raoult's law. Again, I am explaining this stuff. Now, what is Nb? Number of moles of solute. What is Na? Number of moles of solvent. What is Pa naught? Pure solvent, vapor pressure of pure solvent. What is the Pa naught value? Look, water is a solvent and temperature is 100 degrees centigrade. So, Pa naught value, which is 760 mm of Hg, because 100 degrees centigrade. 100 degrees centigrade, this value is this one. And what is the Pa value? Pa value given in a given in a question, that is 570 mm of Hg, vapor pressure of solution, which is 570 mm of Hg. So this value is 570. Now find out the Nb value. Nb value you can find. Na value, what will be the Na value? How many gram of water? 360 gram of water. That means given mass by molar mass. 360 by 18, that means Na value is 20. So just put the value. After putting all the stuff, it becomes 760 minus 570 divided by 570. Instead of Na, you can write given mass. What is a given mass? That is 30 gram. Molar mass of B you have to find. That means given mass, molar mass of B, that means molar mass of solute, you have to find. This is 20. So after getting calculations, this one is 1 by 3. This one is 30 m into 20. So m value is 9 by 2. That means 4.5 gram. So molar mass of solute, which is 4.5 gram. Any doubt regarding this part? Do you have any doubt? Okay. So that is about today's class. Do you have any doubt? All the stuff, please tell me. Okay. All of you clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tomorrow evening. Evening means almost I will take class from 8:45 to 9:45 p.m. Okay. 1 hour.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.